Oh my God, Elaine, hold on. I just got a text and it says that there's a delivery outside the Wonka Well. I don't know who it's from, but it seems like maybe it's got your name on it. So I think maybe you should open it.
Let me. Oh, wow. Here it is. Here's a. Oh, okay. 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 So I got this big old fucking package over here. I guess I will open it now and see. Genuinely, I have no idea what's in here.
There's an actual real package that Elaine has no idea what's in here. It's because her birthday is tomorrow as of recording.
There's a box within a box, guys. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. What is happening here? What is happening?
I could not have asked for a better presentation method. It looks like he's shielding himself.
Is this a frog? Is this a frog? It's a frog! It's a frog. I've got a fickle grubber.
Fickle grubber, he's come to tell you something. I don't know. He's here.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Fickle Grubber. I know I had a different voice in the fan fiction episode, and this kind of makes no sense now. But no worries.
I feel like this was a gift to myself.
Oh my gosh.
Sending this to you.
Okay. I'm going to hug this thing the whole time. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
wow.
Is it pushing my Wonka puppet agenda? Potentially. But it's Elaine is now in possession of a 24-inch frog stuffed animal. It's not the Build-A-Bear one, but I thought the realism added something.
It does. I'm not going to lie. The arms are a little something else. There's a little like...
They are interesting.
It comes to life. It has those...
He's got personality.
He's like... welcome out, everybody, to my stand-up. Let me tell you, flies. Why they flying? I just get them, you know? Wah, 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 wah. Oh, my God.
Literally, I was like, I felt guilty almost getting it for you because it also felt a gift to myself because I knew what just happened would happen. And, and I feel like I've been treated seeing that.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, Fickle Grubber, he came to wish you a happy birthday. Is that crazy?
Thanks, Vicky. Okay, and then I've got a second package.
So this is like a little fun side thing, you know.
It's a little hat. Oh my God, hold on. Guys, it is a red sequin little hat, one of those party hats with a little pom-pom at the top. And then I got a little bow tie, and here we go, Fickle. You ready? Oh, your arm got... Oh, God, sorry. Okay, the hat needs to, get a moment to figure itself out.
It's the best thing I've ever seen in my fucking life! Happy birthday!
Thank you! He looks so sick. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming out to my fundraiser, Amphibians with Phobias.
I feel like Fickle Grubber is becoming the mascot of this podcast slowly but slowly.
Thank you so much. I have a present for you, Felicia.
What?
It's finally getting to cover Mr. Beast's video about his chocolate factory and who will win it.
Oh my God.
You're welcome. It's
Thank you.
Same level of love I'm dishing out to you. I left so many comments on his Reddit thread saying, God damn it, Mr. Beast. Please use your mustached face for good and make the most incredible art piece that we will have ever seen in the Wonka canon to date. And I hope it did not disappoint.
Elaine, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's fine.
Oh.
It's fine is my main.
Well, I gave him a $5 tip, so I guess that's...
Yeah, he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it.
And it kind of looks like that's one of yours, but... I don't know what that was. That was a weird... I think I embodied a frog.
A whole new character. Something about a frog awakened a personality in you that...
I've been binging Drag Race today, so I think I'm just... Yeah, that should...
I am actually very excited to talk about Mr. Beast Wonka because, it's so out there that it's kind of fun. Normally in our media reviews, I'm actually more excited to talk about this one than I think anything we've reviewed recently.
Yes.
Because there's so much to unpack here. There's so much to unpack here. It is such a bizarre video, like truly. And also, like, we're not familiar with the MrBeast oeuvre. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, I watched like the Squid Game video like for 5 minutes and I was like, this is too much.
Yeah, and I've seen a few videos where he like goes on other Twitch streamers like
I did see at the end there was a little pop-up card for a video called I Made the World's Most Dangerous Escape Room, and I almost watched it because of you. But then I didn't.
At my YouTube started rolling into his 50-minute documentary about himself, and I was going to watch it.
Wait,
for this
that
podcast.
exists?
It exists, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn about it, and I can provide that for the podcast. But then I was like, I don't get paid for this. So
no, I think that was a good choice. I mean,
no.
It is wild. I watched one MrBeast video, and then like all of my YouTube recommended was MrBeast stuff.
Jesus
and
Christ!
I'm an avid YouTube user. Like I use YouTube all the time, and it was taken over. I started getting NFT ads. I started getting so many. I'm not joking. I got a fucking NFT ad halfway through this, and I'm like, did you think I suddenly morphed into a 17-year-old boy?
I know, my algorithm got fucked up too.
They were like, have you ever played Valorant? And I'm like, no. Have you met me? Are you kidding me? Wonka Watch. Beep, 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 beep.
Oh my gosh, what's Wonka Watch?
It was the newspaper that was delivered with your packages, because we get this newspaper about once a week, and and then we read it out on the podcast. We review what's new in the world of Wonka. And on this, we're so out of our routine. It's wild. On this episode, we're going to be talking about an old story is coming back once again. And we have a lot of reoccurring stories on the show. But guess what we're talking about again? We're talking about the counterfeit Wonka bars.
I was guessing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Tell me what's up.
So I got these two headlines in my inbox. Big haul of fake Wonka bars seized in London, UK from securingindustry.com. Fake Wonka bars and vapes worth £500,000 seized from US candy stores in London's Oxford Street. All right. So these were two, and that one was from inews.co.uk. So these
did you say vapes as well?
Yeah, there was a lot of
chocolate and vapes.
Yeah. So I got stuff from both these articles to kind of dive into this. So obviously this situation is shitty. There's major allergen things going on, but it is also wild how widespread this is. Approximately 2,246 counterfeit Wonka bars, 2,838 disposable vapes, 233 toys with no safety labels, and 1,393 counterfeit phone covers were discovered this week, according to the Westminster Council. So here's the interesting things. There seems to be a larger thing going on than just counterfeit Wonka bars, because they said the council said it believed very few of the shops were serving sufficient customers to be commercially viable and were instead being used to avoid business rate bills and possibly commit other offenses. So the counterfeit Wonka bars are a front.
A front. Oh my gosh, this is like...
There's so much happening. I want a Netflix miniseries.
Yeah, oh my God. Make this the docuseries right now.
So then here was just, I think we might have talked about this earlier, but just as a reminder, so the genuine Wonka bars were originally manufactured by the Swiss food giant Nestle, but were discontinued more than a decade ago because sales were poor. The brand is now owned by Ferrero Rocher, which was acquired by Nestle in 2018, but it does not sell Wonka products. So that's the thing. It's never sold Wonka products, not currently. Any Wonka branded chocolate does not feature the official Ferrero or Ferrero Candy Company trademarks on the label, is likely to be a counterfeit product, and there's no way to know if it is safe or not to eat.
Great.
Awesome.
The vapes, I keep getting thrown by the vapes.
Yeah, the vapes are
everything. It's like the toys, the chocolate, which I hate. That's like
covers
kids.
Is also interesting to me.
Yeah, like
because like how can it be counterfeit? Like I guess it could be, but like.
Also, are those just like covered in lead or something?
Yeah, like
you know, like what is? I don't know. That's okay. Now I'm thinking about it. Vape, you're inhaling shit. That's worse.
Yeah. No, the vapes are the worst. I feel like we shouldn't be focusing on the Wonka bars.
Yeah, it's like y'all, the vapes. Make sure your vape is not counterfeit. But maybe also don't vape so you don't get popcorn lungs. I'm throwing it out there. Be safe. Just be aware. But make sure they're not counterfeit.
Yeah. So that's our Wonka Watch for this week.
Now I have a continuing part of our series. I went to Walmart, and what did I find? The International Delight Whipperscrumper Creamer, whatever it's fucking called. I have 3 ways to try it, Felicia. So the first one, I think I should just taste it straight.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't taste it straight, which is...
I got it in my little shot glass. So here we go. God, that's amazing.
Wow, are you gonna like the creamer?
I fucking love this. So I love caramel.
Okay, so that's the thing. I don't.
I love
so
caramel. And when I used to have coffee and like my intense frappuccinos, I always loved a caramel frappuccino, caramel macchiatos.
Yeah, caramel macchiatos are the exception for me.
I used to get an iced caramel coffee with oat milk. I hate that I revealed that. Anyway, I love it. I'm not getting coconut. I'm sorry, Jill.
Jill, we love what you bring to the podcast. But the coconut
marshmallow
was not something we loved you bringing. Hey, that's actually one of the notes of the creamer.
Marshmallow. I'm getting caramel and marshmallow, and I could see where the marshmallow blended with the caramel could provide that coconut because it has that cool edge. So, Jill, I'm giving this to you. That's fine, but it's marshmallow. So far, it tastes like it's advertised to me. So my second version of tasting this is with a decaf black tea.
Okay, good.
Here we go. It's in. We're
is flavored creamer and black tea a norm for people?
No.
Okay.
No, I just can't have coffee. I was like,
strange.
I think I want to try it in every aspect I can. So trying it in a drink. Now, Felicia, I have the whole fucking bottle. If I like this, I can't have this be part of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't be the person who puts her fucking Wonka creamer in her goddamn tea. Okay, here we go. Don't drink that in tea.
Okay, good.
I think I don't know if I can blame the creamer on that one. Don't put that in your tea, though.
That wasn't its intended use.
Or maybe not in a black tea. Well,
I don't think it would be better in any other tea.
No, I was like, don't put that. I was like, what other fucking tea would you do that aside from black? Like, you're not going to.
You can maybe do it in like a vanilla ginger spice, which is what I'm drinking currently. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it should be drunk on its own. So,
and I have one final way to try it. Felicia, as the resident legal age, I have put it in vodka. So we're
I knew this was coming, but
we're gonna put in vodka. If anyone's like disturbed, White Russian is a cocktail. It's like basically milk and vodka, which is kind of disturbing. I'm not gonna lie, but there's also Bailey's, which is like a creamier alcohol kind of thing. So this is like a thing. This isn't horrifying.
Just drank the whole thing. Just going back for seconds.
I can't even taste the vodka.
Wow.
I feel a little burn in my heart. Holy fucking shit, that was amazing.
That's scary.
I feel like I just had a Bailey's. If I had a glass, put some ice, added a dash of this creamer and some vodka, I'm fucking set to go watch Paddington.
That's your new routine.
Oh man, tough day. Let me get my creamer and my vodka.
my Willy Wonka creamer. Because we must remember this is a Willy Wonka creamer.
We have an official cocktail for the podcast. The Wonka Watch cocktail.
And I'm like, what's the cocktail? And I'm like, it's just fucking Wonka creamer with vodka. That is the most Wonka Watch thing I've ever heard in my life. So yeah.
We get chocolate curls on top of it. That's for you, Chef Amari.
You put a little nerd's rope around the edge of the...
Wait, you use like I don't think you could use a Twizzler, but a red vine would have the sturdiness. That can be your straw. I don't think we should actually add the element of cherry.
You can use a Twizzler. As someone who has used a Twizzler, I'm someone who, I don't know if you know these type of people, because I am this person who gets enjoyment out of making other people watch me commit food crimes.
That makes sense. That checks out.
So like there was a summer camp I went to when I was around 11, and I got a lot of joy just looking people dead in the eyes and dipping a chocolate chip cookie into a Sprite and going, how do you like that?
You fucking no. Bad. Don't make me pull out fucking rubber to yell at you.
I'm like, it's fine. You guys are just babies. Meanwhile, I'm scared of salad bars and I can't eat a tomato. So like, I don't know what I was trying to prove. Like,
oh man. Well, anyway, my consensus is that I like this creamer.
I'm glad somebody liked it.
Pretty great.
Because
I think what
genuinely we threw it out in our house because we both hated it. So my mom was like, I'll drink it. It'll be no problem. I'll drink it in my coffee. And she was like, it was bad. I don't
feel
want that
like
creamer.
I'm not
for
sure
a
if
specific
it mixes
taste.
well. Yeah, like I think for me, I do enjoy that it's not just a caramel creamer. The marshmallow really is an added like enjoyment to it. But I don't know. Obviously, I can't have coffee, so I can't like speak to that. But I'm not sure how well this blends with other flavors. I think you need to have something that's pretty bland, like maybe not an intense coffee flavor. If you're going for more, like get your
I had
most
it in a
medium
light roast
bland
breakfast blend.
So anyway, I approve.
And now, listeners, we can wait for 2 years on bated breath for me to try this. Will the creamer be in production at that point? Likely not, and that's okay.
If any of you guys have gotten to have it, please email us your thorough reviews. WonkaRapture@gmail.com.
Peer-reviewed qualitative study of the Wonka creamer. That's what we're doing here.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
But despite all that, that's not the point of the episode. And now we're going to get to the actual point of the episode, which is MrBeast. MrBeast and his Wonka factory. Is it his factory or is it Willy Wonka's factory that he happened to build? These are the questions we will ask ourselves over the next hour. Because it will take an hour.
Yes.
This video, let's give it a bit of background. This video came out about a week ago. It already has 67 million views. It is 17 minutes long. And those are kind of your big basics. Mm-hmm. This video is incredibly fast-paced to the point that it took me, I think, like 4 times the length of the video to actually watch it. Because I had to pause every 2 seconds to write things down.
Yeah. I think so really quickly we should explain like who MrBeast is.
Yeah.
So big YouTuber. He's 24, right? 23, 24.
Too young.
He's too young.
He's both too young and too old to be doing this.
Yes. And he does a lot of videos where he does something crazy and then he's giving away a lot of money to people. So that's his thing. I think his audience is probably like teenage boys.
Yeah, it's not us.
We're not the audience. So to give him credit, he didn't make it for us. Now, should he? Probably. But he didn't know.
I just think we should have we're brought in as consultants. I will be honest, watching this made me realize that I'm genuinely an expert about Wonka, and I hate that.
Yes.
Like,
same.
I'm a genuine Wonka expert. Within seconds, I could say everything about what was happening.
You just wait until when we break down his outfit.
Oh my God. Sir, take that, return that back to Dick's Sporting Goods from whence it came.
That Walmart's missing their tablecloth if you want to give that back to them. Okay, here we go.
So the video, it's sponsored by Feastables, which I think is the company that MrBeast has for chocolate. Like, I think he owns it. And it is everywhere in this. This thing is branded Feastables every 30 seconds.
Which he has his own chocolate bars, which I was thrown off by. I didn't really realize that fully until halfway through. I was like, wait, you have your own chocolate? And you've been selling it for a hot sec? Why?
I think the company started around when we started the podcast, but I didn't talk about it because we had a lot more actual Wonka news going on at that time. So I never really brought it up. And also because I don't care about MrBeast, and he was like going to give away some giveaway. So I thought it was just going to be money, not building a fucking factory. Yeah. So we didn't talk about it until now. So we're going to jump right into the intro, and you're going to say, wow, this starts fast and it's kind of shocking because yes, that is the experience of watching it. Like, we are outside the factory right away, and he is just standing there with like a bunch of people, and he's like, I built this factory and I got these 10 people here. They got things from the candy bars, and now we're going to let's go inside. And then you're like, whoa, okay. Hi.
Yeah, it doesn't even introduce them. They're just there.
Yeah. They don't get names, which made me feel weird.
Yeah.
They don't get names throughout this video.
Also, the tickets they hold up when they wave them are just like, they look like they were printed off at like your local apartment office. They're black and white.
Well, we'll talk about the fucking office later. We'll get into the fucking office.
Oh, yeah.
I was really disappointed there was no dramatic Wonka entrance, because that is like the one thing that Wonka always does.
Yeah.
He can't be normal about showing up, but no, he's just like standing there. And there's a very interesting phenomenon in this video where MrBeast is dressed up as Wonka, but he's constantly referencing Wonka as like another person. And I just wish he would have bought into the narrative a little bit more, that like this was his factory. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
or that he was Wonka. Like, I just do a bit of LARPing, a little role play for me.
Yeah.
Do a little dance, money boy. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be nice.
Dance, money boy, dance.
Dance, money boy, dance. So there's 10 contestants. Primarily, it's 9 dudes in their mid-20s and then 1 woman.
Yeah.
I thought there was no women at first. And spoiler alert, she gets eliminated very early, and I was very disappointed about it.
Same.
So It's people who won golden tickets from his chocolate brand. And throughout the video, MrBeast keeps repeating, whoever wins gets the factory, which seems like just such a bad prize. And that seems like a problem you've given to me in my life.
That's like a ton of taxes.
It's a ton of taxes. There's no supply
They probably
chain
don't
attached.
live near it. Yeah,
no, yeah. And it keeps getting referenced throughout the video. And like, spoiler warning for the MrBeast video. I'm sure you're waiting on bated breath. He does actually give them money at the end, but I was going to lose my fucking mind if he didn't. Because I was like, what the fuck? It's like, well, you get this warehouse. Goodbye, bitch. It's your problem now. That's it. So we get our first look at the factory on the outside. And I actually didn't think it looked that bad. It reminded me of a less exciting version of the Alton Towers ride.
Same, yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. It very much seems to be inspired by Johnny Wonka's factory, but MrBeast is in a Gene Wonka costume. And I feel like this would have worked a little bit better if he was in a Johnny Wonka costume, and that's all I'll say. Like, some of it, I could have bought in a little more. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Does it make any sense?
Like, if he had the wig on, that would have been awesome. You know?
And he had the glasses. It would have been fun.
Man. But alas, this video goes so fast, there's probably no time to character build that way anyway,
this is everything we've talked about has happened in the first 10 seconds. And in the 10 seconds into the video on the dot, we reveal into the chocolate room. And it is a warehouse. It is a warehouse, ladies and gentlemen.
It is a warehouse. And that chocolate room, you get a pan through, and you have to know when they're editing. They probably upped the saturation because there's definitely it doesn't look fantastic looking at it. Like, it's impressive in terms of you did
scale.
It, but based on how the budget could have been, I have a lot of budget questions for this video. I think money wasn't spent wisely on the parts that needed to have it.
To the point where MrBeast even seems to mention that at multiple times during this video.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't the best way. So, if he had been smaller as a YouTuber, or working on a budget, but I don't know, I would have been impressed by that. But based on what probably could have been,
the way I would describe this is if it's giving Garden Center does a Willy Wonka themed exhibit.
Yeah.
And if this was a garden center doing that, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it's fantastic. But that's not what's happening. It is not that. So
he brought in real grass, it looks like, also, which
real grass and
died.
Plants.
Also, it's dying and it's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead grass.
So it is, okay, I want you to know, so the floor and everything like that looks like a chocolate factory, but the walls are completely stark white with a stark white curved warehouse ceiling with fluorescent lighting on top. And it is just bizarre. And you could tell they put up some valence curtains up there to kind of try and make it a little nice. And honestly, I think if they added more of those in between all the lights, it actually could have fixed it. Fixed a lot of the problems. But they only did it once. It's very disappointing. So looking at it here, there's a yellow brick road. There's a chocolate fountain and a lot of plastic candy objects around. There's a big wall print of a chocolate bar. And here's the thing. For how much money they spent on this chocolate room, you don't really get to look at it at all.
No. Yeah.
I'm looking at this photo. I took a screenshot of it, and there's some mushrooms in the back, and I never saw those in the video. You don't really get the sense of how this factory is set up. It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. We have a little bridge too going over the chocolate river. It looks kind of like a DIY putt-putt course.
Yeah.
This would be a sick putt-putt course.
It
would still look a little sad, but
I will say, I think the best part about this room is the chocolate river. I think they did a pretty good job. I think that was actually well done, and I will give him his flowers for that. That was well done.
Yes.
So yeah, I said in the time frame in which they pulled this together, it's okay. It could have easily been improved with better lighting, which I said if this was not fluorescent lighting, I actually think it would have been much better. And the chocolate river looks pretty good. So the one guy walks in. And it didn't figure out. It's very unclear for a long time who is and who is not a contestant for the first 5 minutes of this video. I was a little confused
I'm sure
about
if
that.
you watch, you recognize his friends, but as newbies, I also was like,
one guy who I figured out was a contestant takes a bite out of a door made of chocolate that looked like pure packed dirt.
It looked disgusting.
Dirt. And he was like, "It's so good," and I was like, "Is it?" And there's also a tree with $100 bills on it next to that, just hanging off of it. It's so that was in the budget. But you could get more curtains? Okay. And And here was my first gripe about the video. My first actual real gripe is they don't address this at all. But one of the contestants is dressed up as Mike TV from 1971.
They just call him the guy dressed up like a cowboy. And that pissed me off.
I was so fucking angry.
I was like, it's not like copyright if you say he's Mike TV, which made me go,
I don't
do you
think
just
they
not
know?
Which,
I don't think they know. Because I'm going to go into this. I don't think they've seen the movie recently. I genuinely don't think they've seen it recently. This felt like someone recreating Wonka's Factory from a memory they had of watching it when they were like 14. Do you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, because it was Gene Wonka, Mike TV. He was wearing the shorts. He had the cowboy hat. He had the exact shirt, and he had a little fake gun.
Toy gun holsters. And he was my favorite. And spoiler alert, he's out fucking first, guys.
I know, it pissed me off so much. God.
So I will say I watched this video, and anytime I started rooting for somebody, they got immediately eliminated. And I was like, God damn it. So I want you to know everything we've discussed happened within the first 21 seconds of the video.
It's insane. I can't.
not the first round, but like the Mike TV guy, everybody coming in, 21 seconds. Okay. So then Mr. Beast gathers everybody. He's like, all right, first round is hide and seek. You have 1,000 seconds. Go. And you're like, Jesus Christ. Now.
And the first person found is going to be eliminated.
I said here, I think I just wish Mr. Beast had given this like a little more flair or like hired somebody to host, because there's no mystery to this Wonka.
Yeah, same. And I feel like it's pretty cool what they do next when everyone's hiding and not yet being sought. They're just hiding. Anyway, they're running around and you get to see all the other rooms and you're like, oh shit, this is big. So that was cool. But after that, they don't touch on any of them really again. I don't know. They move so fast. You don't get to fully appreciate this stuff, I feel like. And it's just like, then how was it worth it? I don't know. I also feel like this factory is too big. I think he could have done all this better with a smaller
I agree.
set.
It was weird because like they would be I thought they would just hide in the chocolate room, but no, they have free reign of the entire factory. So they're like, oh, this person's in the offices, and you're like, what the fuck?
I did like how interactive the rooms were, because when people were hiding, I was like, holy shit.
It was giving me escape room vibes. I will be honest. So here's the thing. When I was watching the video, I just figured out the guys in white shirts and overalls who looked like every other contestant there were not in fact contestants and were kind of Oompa Loompas, which I'm glad they didn't go too far hard on the Oompa Loompa front. But I started calling them Mr. Beast lackeys throughout the video, which just felt correct. So this one guy, one of the contestants, opens a door with a Coca-Cola door handle. And this is where we start to get iffy. Because if Wonka and Coca-Cola existed in the same universe, he would hate that company. And the approach for this video seemed to be referencing anything popular with sugar as an ingredient, which is fine. But it misses Wonka's like entire mission, which is making a world of his own creation. Yeah, have you heard the fucking song?
Why wasn't it just a fizzy lifting drink?
Literally, because the Coca-Cola comes up again, and if you had said, oh, we're gonna, instead of Mentos and Coke, you could say, we're gonna throw this square candy that looks round into the fizzy lifting drink, it would have been fucking fine, Mr. Beast.
We'll get to that final challenge, guys. It's so, there are 7 challenges in this 17-minute video that jumps around so fucking fast.
So the room that fascinates me most in this factory, and my favorite room in the factory because it's so baffling, is the marshmallow room.
Yes.
That looks like a padded cell and a saw trap because there's wall-mounted cameras everywhere to capture the footage. It looks like somebody's going to die in that room.
It does.
And later, there seems to be a
favorite.
threat of death within that room, genuinely, which is interesting. That was strange.
Fits Wonka.
Yeah, I really liked the idea of it. So they're going everywhere. Mike TV guy goes into this production room with shipping containers and construction helmets. And there's like these spinning cookies on the wall and shit, which we never come back to. So Mr. Beast starts walking around and talking about stuff, and he's completely not in character. And this is my first thing. He says, if I were to hide in Willy Wonka's factory. So this clarified for me, he's not trying to be Wonka. He's just dressed up as him tangentially, I guess. Correlation, not causation, or whatever. Yeah. But here's one of the points that says to me Mr. Beast has not seen the film recently, because he said, if I were to hide in Willy Wonka's factory, I would hide in the chocolate river. Do you remember what happened to Augustus, Mr. Beast?
The big thing that happened, the big Augustus Gloop thing. Like,
did
when
you
think of
forget
the goose,
the gloop tube descending from the
gloop
ceiling?
tube. Did you forget the little song of warning that we got after that?
Yeah. It's just, there's a lot that points to him not really being very familiar. It kind of seems like he did a Google search of what the chocolate room looked like and said, I'm good. We got it.
Yeah.
Which I kind of respect in a weird way, but also I was frustrated as a Wonka scholar. Frustrated, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not, like, impressed.
No.
But God,
yes.
yeah, so as they're running around, they go quickly. He's like, oh, yeah, and look at the office. And it's just a boring office. It's not like, because when you think of Wonka, we're in Gene Wonka, you think of the office. The most important thing is everything's cut in half. And that wasn't in the office. It just was an office.
This Wonka, I'm not joking, uses a red MacBook.
Yeah.
He walks past the office thermostat. There is absolutely no whimsy in this office. He does have a black top hat on his desk. Okay. And there's Wonka inspirational posters, which just like quotes from 71 with like chocolate stock photos in the background.
See, I didn't even pick up on that because I was so
studying
boring.
this because I was like, what the fuck is this? I think it was just they were wanting to stall a little bit. And I almost think that was the office they genuinely used while they were working on the factory and just put up some inspirational posters in the last 2 minutes to kind of make it something, you know.
They could have just closed the door.
Maybe we didn't have to go back there. Because honestly, that was the most offensive part of this video, was that to me. MrBeast goes into the marshmallow room and he says it's called the Wollamhsram Room because it's marshmallow backwards. And I was like, okay, we're getting some Wonka whimsy. Getting some Wonka whimsy. But then the cameraman questions him on it. And he had such a good opportunity here to play into the Wonka stereotype and be like, what? I can't hear you. Sorry, you're mumbling or something like that. You know what I mean? But instead he just goes, it's marshmallow backwards. Ugh, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even that fun. It was like the most boring way you could have said it. I was disappointed. The joke fell flat. I was sad.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if someone else came up with that, because I'm sure he has a huge team behind him. So wondering if there was someone who threw that in there and he was like, I don't know.
So then they go into the production room and they open up this big shipping container that's perfectly fit for a human body. And inside is none other than Mr. Mike TV. And here's another, this is what we were discussing earlier, another tally on the they have not seen this film thing, because they go, oh no, it's the guy dressed up cool. It's the cowboy. It's Mike TV.
There's the other, okay, Mike TV pissed me off. And then the next thing that pissed me off is that when these people get eliminated, they get on the boat.
Yes, we need to talk about this.
Which is funny. But I will say before he goes, the boat will take them out of the factory because they've lost. He goes, quote, you've seen the movie before, right? Says MrBeast. So you know what to do. Get on the boat. That is, what are you talking about?
Have you seen the movie?
What are you talking about?
Well, you've seen the film. You know what happens now. Not this.
I was like, come on, these are basics, you know, like that. Oh my, you've seen the movie, right? You know what to do. What? No.
It was fucking insane.
But this elimination process is insane. I do think it is funny. I will say.
I think it's funny too. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. They get in the boat. It's the boat from the 2005 version, Johnny Wonka's boat. So it's the big pink seahorse, which I actually think they did a great job recreating.
Yeah, same.
And then you have like some boy who looks like he's 17 paddling it with this cheap plastic oar. And it's like, okay, we see where the budget went. But they get on the boat and then they have to ride under the chocolate waterfall, which Mike TV, they didn't even part the chocolate waterfall for him because it glitched. So he just got doused in this nasty fucking chocolate water.
Yeah.
And you know what? I did see the chocolate water was having the foaming problem that they had on the 1971 film. And I'm like, you didn't put the soap agent in it, did you, Mr. Beast? I could have told you that.
MrBeast. Man, oh man. But yeah, it was watching him get doused in chocolate, and MrBeast was like, oh, well, that's not supposed to happen. Ha ha. And it was like, well, this is off to a great start.
I did also want to mention, there's like a huge, like, a cut hole in the back of Mr. Beast's top hat. Did you see that?
Oh, that pissed me off. His seam is like ripping apart. I was like,
yeah, I think it was a little too small for him.
Are you
to make it a little bigger?
Me? Oh my God.
But it's very inconsistent. Everything design-wise is 2005 except for his costume and like references on walls and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the fucking, you know what to do. I genuinely think that was the funniest part of the video. But I don't think it was intentional.
No,
If it was, good job. That was great. But that was a joke only for us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's like, what? We're like 2 minutes into the video at this point now?
No.
Like,
Yeah. We're like barely in my notes.
So you can see, like, he has done a very good job sucking you in. Like, when you watch this, you have to watch it. You can't look away. He's very good at bringing you in, but it is a lot. And I wish that
it's kind of like if a video on TikTok with that kind of pace went on for 17 minutes. And it's a lot. So now we go outside to the candy wall of death. This is where I got my ad for NFTs. So it happened fast, real quick into the video. One of the helper guys named Chris apparently goes, "Welcome to the rock wall," and bangs a gong, which it was so out there that I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. Yeah. But it was annoying because they would have a fun name for it and then they would just call it the rock wall the whole time.
Yeah. Like, it's really stay in the bit. And again, I think like you said, if they had done more LARPing, this could have been really cool. And I also don't know why we're on the outside of the factory now. Like, he has this huge warehouse and we're going to
literally,
I don't know. Like,
we're going to go on in the roof and fill it with sand.
Right. I was like, I just don't know. Like, you know, I don't know much about set design, but I feel like using your space wisely, like, you have so much room. Why would you?
Yeah. And I think the idea of this was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this big rock ball with all the grippy things shaped like candy, which I think is fun. I will say there was some flaw in the design of this, which is each person has different footholds. So some routes are probably harder than others. And the last one to the top is eliminated. So I feel like they should have all been the same just for sake of fairness. Personally, but Wonka doesn't do fair because life's not fair. So you know what? That's fine. Yeah. So this is where the woman gets eliminated. I would say her name, but I don't know it because you don't get told. And MrBeast never addresses the contestants by name. The other contestants will address each other by name, but he won't address them by name, which is perhaps the most Wonka thing he does throughout this video.
Yes.
But yeah, she gets eliminated. There are two people who don't make it to the top, so they play rock, paper, scissors, and the woman is gone. No more. Sent down the chocolate river. R.I.P. You will be missed. So everyone, I wrote down a timestamp here. We are 4 minutes into this video. All this has happened in 4 minutes. So now we go into the production room from earlier, and it's everyone gets paired off into teams of 2, and we're at a competitive eating challenge. And MrBeast introduces Matt Stone and Joey Chestnut, 2 competitive eaters. And I didn't expect them to be here because I knew about them vaguely. Like, I didn't seek them out, but I just heard of them. And Joey Chestnut has one of the funniest and best names on this planet, and I just get excited whenever I hear it. I know nothing about the man, but just the name Joey Chestnut is so fucking good. I get excited whenever I hear it.
That is good. That's good. I think this room is so fucking boring.
It's really boring. It's disappointing.
Gray. I mean, it has the potential. It has
Johnny
conveyor
Wonka.
belt moving.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it has these rotating cookies on, like, 2 rotating cookies on the wall. But aside from that, it's just all gray and black. And I'm like, if you're trying to, I don't know, I feel like for YouTube and you want something to pop, like, add some color, like, go wild. And it looks really bland, which made this challenge look even more boring because they're basically speed eating a giant chocolate bar.
So we watched them speed eat this chocolate bar, and it is unpleasant because this bar is fucking huge. Mm-hmm. I don't think this is the size that they come in, but he did not make that clear in the video. And I was like, wait, is this man selling chocolate bars that are like a sheet of paper? No, they were custom made for the video, but apparently they're like a pound of chocolate, which I feel like they should have harped on more. Because that is impressive to me. Like, it's a pound of chocolate. They only mentioned that after the fact. Like, oh, man, you must be feeling bad after eating a pound of chocolate. I was like, you should have said that first. That makes it feel a lot more tense.
Yeah, because it's kind of boring. That's like a pretty
It's just watching a lot of dudes slurp down water bottles really aggressively. And drink and eat chocolate. So 2 more people get eliminated. And then in case you weren't intrigued enough by the video, he goes, but you need to keep watching because I have a special guest coming later. And it's Gordon Ramsey in his shirt nips I would recognize anywhere. So you know it's him. You know what I mean? But it's they go outside to the roof of the factory and they have to throw the world's largest Mento into the world's largest bottle of Coke. And I will say, if this video isn't sponsored by Coca-Cola, this is fucking insane. Why would you do it unless, I guess because it's like brand and like clickbait, but like you could have said throw the fudge mellow into the giant fizzy lifting drink.
Yes.
Give me some fucking whimsy, Mr. Beast.
Or even, like, if he had nothing else, then, like, throw the marshmallow in the hot chocolate. Like, just and the fondue. Like, any kind of
where was an everlasting gobstopper reference? There was not a single everlasting gobstopper reference in this video. And, like, even though it's 1971 original, that's, like, a key. I feel like it would have been so easy to just throw something in there about the everlasting gobstopper.
Yeah. Yep.
So he says, don't forget, if you make this, it could determine whether or not you win the chocolate factory. It's like, yeah, we know. Literally every challenge, he's like, don't forget to the contestants. What are they going to fucking forget? They're in a factory in the middle of a fucking field.
The whole point is that it's
Why am I here again?
I've forgotten. This thing looks stupid. It's stupid big. It is unnecessarily big.
It's stupid to the point where it looks bad.
Let's see. There's a tall man. That's 1, 2, 3. Like 3.5 adult men size.
It looks like 2 floors. It's huge.
God. And it's filled with dark, like, I do not believe this is filled with Coca-Cola, because when we see it explode once a Mentos finally gets in there, I described it as the explosive Cheeto Puff version of diarrhea.
I agree with you. It also looked like mousse, in a less vulgar way to say it.
Oh, okay, that's a better way.
So one of my favorite things is this could determine whether or not you win the chocolate factory. One contestant says, man, that's like $500,000. And Mr. Beast says, or who knows, more. And I was just, at this point, genuinely just very confused on how this factory translates to monetary gain. There's no supply chain. There's nothing. I thought for a second he was going to give them, like, shares in his chocolate company. That would have been really fun and, like, a Wonka thing to do. And this man is very profitable. So, like, they should have gotten at least, like, they should have all gotten, like, a share in his chocolate factory, which I know isn't that fun, but, like, it would make it feel like Wonka.
That would have been good.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we get a honey sponsorship. He has his lackeys wheeling a TV he bought and say money on with honey. It says that if the next guy misses his shot, he gets to keep the TV. And that man slams that Mento on the ground so hard, which I would too, because if my choice is either win a factory or that has unspecified gain or a nice television, I would pick the television.
And honestly, I was shocked anyone got it, because throwing this Mentos in there, it's fucking far away. And it is a small opening. I bet they had to do like 30 minutes of tossing. It really seemed like
it. I wonder if the original plan, well, no, it wouldn't be everyone does it. That would make no sense with the explosion. But yeah, I did actually like, the one thing I liked is they had a wall mounted Mentos dispenser. I thought that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. That it would like pop back up.
My brain couldn't comprehend that they were actual Mentos though. They looked kind of fluffy.
Yeah. Well, again,
it felt like they were foam to me.
I think it was just like, like foam or a pillow or something that you were throwing into this tube, and then whatever horrifying.
They were floating a little too much in the air. They were a little too light, you know?
Yeah, too light, which honestly, a huge Mentos would have been awful, because it would have been sticky probably.
Yeah.
I would have started eating it though. I'm a wild girl. Give me a Mento.
Yeah, no one really ate anything except for the one guy eating that door, and I wonder if he was actually supposed to do that.
Probably not. They were like, actually, that was like really unsanitary. If you complete,
it looked like it was growing something. Is all I'll say. So one guy finally gets it in. It explodes and makes a huge stain on the side of the factory. Mr. Beast is like, yeah, that's whoever's gonna win this problem. Sorry. I was like, you're not making this seem nice. And then for some reason, this is the shot that entranced me, which was a shot of one of his lackeys hiding underneath a mat in what looked to be a field miles away, yelling, "It blew so high!" And it was the funniest part to me. It was so overreacting because he was hiding beneath a black mat, and I don't think he could even see it.
No, like,
and it looked like he was in another realm from where everyone else was, because you couldn't see any of the factory. It looked like he was in the middle of a football field. It was so weird, to the point where I was almost like, did they film this afterwards? And they were like, it looks kind of lame. What if you just yell that it blew really high and like it'll feel better? You know what I mean?
God.
So the guy who makes the shot then has to choose who to eliminate, which seemed
I thought that was so fucked up.
That was
I loved it.
Up.
I was like, I'd feel really uncomfortable. I don't know these people, and I would hate to have that, like, and they have nothing to determine. It's not like you're on a reality TV show and you know these people and there's some kind of, like, competition. They don't know each other.
And he eliminated his teammate from the last round.
Like, shit.
And they had won that round.
That was a lot, yeah. I will say, it was nice that guy, MrBeast, gave the eliminated guy a solid gold Mentos.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Elaine. I did some research. So MrBeast says you can sell it after you leave. I did some research, and Mento is about 2.5 grams. So this is selling for like $150 maximum.
Okay. Well, I guess at least he got something.
I think he'll probably get more because he can say, oh, it's the Mento from the MrBeast video. So I assume he'll get more than that. But I was like, damn.
That's kind of a
I was
bummer.
like, this is nice. It's $100. Okay. Well, like there was $100 on those trees earlier that I think people were just grabbing, you know?
Yeah, I remember, like, yeah.
Okay, we're back in the Wollamhsram Room, except no one ever refers to it as the Wollamhsram Room again, and I was really disappointed. Yeah. No whimsy, no commitment to the bit. It's fine. So, MrBeast is in here, and one of his lackeys just has a fucking flamethrower for some reason. And never explain why. And MrBeast is just like, you should maybe not hold that close to me. That's kind of dangerous.
There were a lot of moments where I was like, that doesn't seem safe.
For the rest of the video, he's just walking, not the rest of the video, the rest of this segment in the marshmallow room, he's just holding it threateningly.
Which, it's an enclosed space, and, like, again, this is padded with material I assume could be quite flammable.
It looks like the most flammable room I've ever seen in my life.
I did want to say, so something cool about this room, though, is part of the hide and seek section, this guy just pulled out a bottom marshmallow cube and crawled in as his hiding spot in this room, which I thought was wild.
Here's another thing I want to talk about. There's this one contestant who has been carrying around a toilet paper roll, and I don't know why.
I don't either. And it doesn't really come up until you see it in this scene, I think, or is it a previous, like,
they
or
never
later one?
mention the toilet paper roll. He's just holding it.
And it's like,
and later you figure out it's because he was hiding in the cake or not room, which we will be discussing later, and there was a big pile of toilet paper there, and I think he just wanted to grab a souvenir of some kind.
Okay.
Which, like, fair enough, but at the moment, it's never mentioned, and he's just holding this toilet paper so lovingly. He's carried it through him through this journey. I think that's really impressive. And I started to root for him once I saw that, like, little toilet paper. It was kind of cute in, like a kid with their teddy bear kind of way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course, once I started to root for him, he immediately became eliminated because they have to stand on these peppermint patty things that, like, spin around. They look like little sewing needle bobbins, and they're trying not to fall off. And I will say, MrBeast delivers the only good joke in this video that he delivers, which is he says they look like they're spinning in a character creator, and that was funny. I did like that. He was right. Good bit. The thing is the guy with the toilet paper roll falls off really fast in a way that MrBeast seemed disappointed about.
Yes. Because then he immediately is like, oh, this is going faster than I thought. So he goes over to this wall because he can make them start spinning faster.
Because, and I quote, I spent a lot of money on this.
Yes. And I'm like...
Which is the most Wonka shit he's done so far. Like, oh, you're done, but I'm going to keep going. But, like, I mean, it was, I think, one of the more interesting challenges of the episode, but I think there was supposed to be a lot more, like, things happen in that room, and then one guy just fell off really quick, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, a giant marshmallow drops from the ceiling, and it's never addressed. What was that?
It does directly hit one of the lackeys, though, which I thought was hilarious. Like, right on the head, he goes down, and it was so fucking funny.
All right, Jacob M. Held.
Oh, okay, really quick, though. When the guy gets eliminated from that round and he goes in the boat, one of the random guys up there goes, one last sweet treat for the road, my man, picks up a prop of a giant candy and throws it at the guy. And he just takes it on his way out. I was like, what?
It's so weird. It's so bizarre. So now we're at the second to last challenge, cake or not. So,
one of my favorites. This was one of my favorites. I thought this was pretty, like, in the vein of, like, you're in a chocolate factory. It's timely. I like that it was toilets.
Yeah. So, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Wonka's not a pastry maker. He's a candy maker. Just need to say it. I don't actually levy that as a real criticism of this video, but as a Wonka scholar, I feel the need to point it out. They're wearing the Squid Game numbers again, which felt kind of lazy. I'm going to be honest, that you spent all this money on the fucking factory and then are like, I guess just bring out the Squid Game numbers again. I don't fucking know, man. There's also a bathtub filled with popcorn in this room that we never touch on.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at this.
So they all got given numbers by the last guy who got eliminated, and in order they have to pick a toilet. They have like their blindfold gets taken off and then they're like, you have 5 seconds, figure it out. And I actually thought this was well done. It was pretty tense. I was like, who's gonna pick what? Because you kind of knew who was gonna get eliminated as soon as I said it. And then they sat down on the toilets, and one toilet breaks beneath that man's buttocks, and toilet number 3 guy has been eliminated.
So good. So good watching that.
And then here's an interesting choice Mr. Beast make. He beats the cake toilet with his cane and then breaks the cane with it. Like he just completely destroys it, which was some pretty Wonka behavior.
This cane is a foldable one.
Yes.
Like it has those like tent bendy things.
And this made me really disappointed because I was hoping he would have planned it and would have lift up his top hat and bring out another identical one. That would have been so fucking good.
Oh, man, yeah.
But he wasn't in the Wonka mindset. And this is also where you get your first real look at his outfit. Somehow, the video's been going for 10 minutes, but it's the first time you really see it in all its glory. Which is some sort of Party City Gene Wonka costume, right? It's got the top hat, it's got the Gene Wonka thing. And then instead of he's wearing athletic pants.
Yeah, it's like khaki joggers is the best way I can describe.
He also changes into shorts at one point during this video and then changes back into pants.
Oh my god.
So he's fully wearing athletic pants with like the diagonal zips on the side. Like it is fully Dick's Sporting Goods. So now we finally get to our final cooking challenge. And then you remember, Gordon Ramsay's going to show up. And the cooking challenge is you have 45 minutes to make a dessert with chocolate for Gordon Ramsay to judge, which I like the idea of. I just really wished it was invent a new candy. And I think there really should have been a creativity score on this challenge, and it wouldn't have changed who won, but I still think
also like I think someone better suited to the genre of food than Gordon Ramsay, who does a lot more cooking. You know, it would have been fun. Yeah. Like I get the energy of Gordon Ramsay.
Hollywood?
Where's Paul Hollywood? Where's Zumbo? Where's Chef Amari?
Where's Chef Amari? I will say though, I think Gordon Ramsay kind of saved this video. So.
Yes, agreed. In terms of could things have been better though if they didn't spend the money to get Gordon out there so everything else would be crisp, therefore it wouldn't have mattered who was the guest judge? I think so, but at this stage, if he's doing it anyway, Gordon takes over. Literally at one point, Mr. Beast is like, he's like off to the side talking his microphone quietly. He's like, so yeah, Gordon just kind of like took over and I'm not really sure what to do about it. It's great though. And then you see Gordon go, 20 minutes left, everybody. Like he really does just
it's almost like he's been a professional TV show host for over 20 years. I think. Did you forget you put Wonka creamer in your black tea?
I am so sorry. Felicia had to watch me spit out all of my tea that I forgot had the creamer in it.
It gets caught on the audio, so.
Oh, great. Okay, well, that was, sorry.
I will say one thing. Gordon Ramsay doesn't even say anything when he's introduced. He's like, we've got Gordon Ramsay here. And he's silent for like 30 seconds, and that was funny to me. Like, he doesn't go, hey, how you all doing, guys? No.
He's just like, okay. Do it. And then Gordon's like, well, 45 minutes is not a lot of time. And he's like, Mr. Beast goes, oh, really? Yeah, I just randomly came up with that. I'm like, do any kind of planning.
I know.
Like, it worked out, but like, God, are you serious? You like really didn't think any of this out?
I know. And like, also like, I will say, I just picked a random number, kind of Wonka, but at the same time, he's not going for Wonka, so I can't defend him.
In terms of production so far and wanting to make sure you're like killing it and stuff, like that to me just was a hint, and maybe he was joking, but I feel like if that was true, there's a lot of other things here that I felt like were just like, I don't know, and kind of lazy. Like,
I also think Gordon might have thought it was a multi-round cooking challenge. Did you get that vibe too? Because Gordon goes, 45 minutes for the last challenge. That's not much time. And to me, it kind of made me believe that he thought this was the final round of a cooking competition. And he was so baffled when he realized that none of these men have touched an oven in the last 8 years, it seemed.
Yeah.
Except also, for like maybe one of them.
the room they're cooking this in is genuinely just like, it looks like it was a behind the scenes holding props thing. And they were like,
Twin Peaks dream sequence.
Let's just throw in a red curtain. I was like, you have this whole fucking warehouse, and the best you can do is like behind a children's theater? You could have gone in the
fucking chocolate room. Would have been
Are
nice.
you kidding me? I was so mad at you. Don't look like the Try Guys kitchen has way better aesthetic than whatever the fuck is happening here.
Oh my god, they should have brought the Try Guys into this. If the Try Guys had done this video, I would have no critiques. So I will say, as a plot line, what I really think they should have done and would have absolved most of the problems with this video is if they had MrBeast say he was like working for Willy Wonka, and in the end, Gordon was dressed up as Willy Wonka to be the final judge.
That would have been
fixed everything.
So good.
Because Gordon Ramsay just wearing a Wonka costume would have been enough for me. Do you know what I mean? Like
Gordon Ramsay, of course I'm going to forget this guy's Slugworth. What if he had been dressed up as Slugworth under costume? You didn't know who he was. And throughout all of these challenges, he was trying to tempt people as this LARP thing. And then he goes up on stage, he takes off his stuff because he has done this before for not Hell's Kitchen, but like the worst restaurants. I forget what it's called. But he is dressed up as an old woman so no one would recognize him. And then he stands up and goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, stop eating." Takes off his stuff and he's like, "It's I, Gordon Ramsay." No, he doesn't say like that, but like that would have been so cool, you know? And they're like, "Oh shit, it's Gordon Ramsay." The creations these people make are grotesque. It's kind of shocking how horrible they are, I will say. Except for the person who wins. I'm like, okay. But at one point there's a guy who has a bread loaf tin, liquid chocolate, and floating marshmallows that was possibly one of the most horrifying things I have ever seen.
And here's the thing. MrBeast gave them recipes, but they were the recipes off of cake boxes you get from the grocery store. Like, you could have fucking printed something out, and maybe that could be done within the time limit instead of giving them a cheesecake recipe off the back of a cream cheese container. What are you doing?
It was... And again, 45 minutes. So no one could really bake, also. They just had to grab
None
whatever.
of these men knew what was happening. And then Ramsay goes up to them and goes, "Have you ever done this recipe before?" And he goes, "No. I don't know. I just grabbed this off the shelf." And then Gordon Ramsay goes, "Jesus Christ."
At one point, someone's in the middle of trying, like, baking their stuff, and he, like, dips a finger in and tastes it, and Gordon Ramsay turns around, goes to one of these cheap red curtains, spits on the red curtain, and wipes, like, it was like he spat on the prop curtain.
Iconic.
God, it was so
There's another
good.
part where so my favorite person during this segment was Glasses. I liked Glasses. He was entertaining me. We still don't have their names, so
working with Glasses.
I liked Glasses. There was a point where Gordon Ramsay goes, "Can you not talk and cook?" And he goes, "I don't think I can." And I thought that was funny. He was giving me, he was the most personality wise throughout this part of the video, which I enjoyed.
Sorry, I'm like going through it again, and like they gave them blowtorches.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
And
like these are not professionals. Do not.
Also, it seemed like the lackeys kept using the blowtorches even when not asked. Did you notice that?
Towards people's faces. I did not like that.
Oh,
like the angle, he was like, "Yeah, you want it now?" Like it wasn't towards their face on purpose, but it looked. I would have been like, "Don't even point that even remotely near anything on this side of the counter towards me."
Yeah.
Back the fuck off. So yeah, that was like, I was like, please.
So we move on to judging. Our first item is Rocky Road on a Cone, which is marshmallows on an ice cream cone with chocolate and stuff and a weird maybe brownie. I don't know what the fuck was going on with this. The marshmallows are confusing. Did he hand make those, or did he fuck up a marshmallow so bad?
I think he just fucked up a marshmallow so bad. Like, because when it's in a glass, so you see the cone. There's one on top, but there's also one just sitting at the bottom, and the guy goes, "Because I didn't know what else to do."
It's so obvious that they all kind of wish that they had gotten maybe a heads up.
Yeah, it was really funny when Gordon Ramsay pulled this cone out because the marshmallow was stuck at the bottom, and he just stares at it and then looks at the guy with the most judgmental stare.
I actually thought this didn't look that bad, but Gordon Ramsay called it pedestrian.
Yeah, and the guy was like, "I'll take it." I was like, same. Like, if Gordon Ramsay got to eat my food based on this and he just commented on it at all, I'd be like, thank you.
So Gordon Ramsay tries it and he spits it out and goes into a coughing fit. And he gets a 5 on taste and looks. So he gets his total score of 10. And I'm going to say Glasses guy got done a little bit dirty in this department because his thing looked good earlier. It looked good. And he said there used to be whipped cream on it, but it melted. And you know why it fucking melted? Because they took too long judging the other guy and didn't tell him they'll fucking order.
And didn't even, like, have anything ready to preserve this shit. Like a little mini fridge or something just to, like, keep it together.
So what it was is whipped cream that melted because it took too long with caramelized bananas and a coconut flake chocolate-covered marshmallows. Which, like, you know what? I appreciate his effort. But it genuinely looked good. I thought he was way too harsh judging this. It looks fine. It's fucking whimsical. Gordon, get into the fantasy.
Gordon's almost ready to swallow it, turns around, spits it on the floor.
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay has no respect for the set, and I love that.
He says, like, oh, so you guys got all the cheap shit. You don't mind that.
Spit it on the floor.
But this guy got $10K for showing up and won a TV and doesn't have a factory to deal with. So honestly, I kind of think he got the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And he made it all the way to the end, so we got to do everything too. So
this guy, I kind of thought he was going to win as soon as he showed up. And I was kind of rooting for him not to win because he kind of felt like the bully of this, even though he wasn't at all and is probably a very nice man. I feel like he got the villain at it, even though he didn't. I think it's just because he had to eliminate someone else. And the whole thing, there's literally no personality to go off of. So you're not really rooting for anyone.
Yeah.
It's just strange. So he's kind of giving me frat boy vibes the whole time. So I was like, I don't like him. But then he surprised me, Elaine. I want to say I had to take back my initial judgment because he made a scene from the film, kind of. It's a confetti cake with a banana on top, and the boat is heading towards a chocolate bar that's like glued with some peanut butter, just some marshmallows, but it has a cut through, and it with chocolate going through it. That looks pretty cool and makes the river. And for 45 minutes, it looks pretty fucking good.
It does.
He did a great job.
And I love that it actually referenced Wonka. One of the few direct references we ever get.
Truly. And Gordon gives him a 7 on looks and a 7 on taste, and he ends up winning the factory. And, like, I wasn't surprised, but I wasn't upset. I think it was the correct outcome based on that final round.
I was rooting for Glasses, I think.
There was something I felt seen by Glasses, but it was okay. So they go back outside the factory. He's given this, like, computer paper deed to the factory, and MrBeast's like, you own this now. And the guy who won, he goes, it's mine! It's mine! It's giving very Veruca Salt. Like, this guy was the Veruca Salt of this. And
so good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Glasses was giving me Violet Beauregard. I think that's why I liked him. Fan casting.
Oh my God. Fan casting with MrBeast.
And I just wrote here, Wonka would put MrBeast into a saw trap for organizing this.
Like, accurate, but whoa.
I mean, this isn't a step off of what we normally say on the podcast.
A saw trap.
I'm not saying I would. I'm just saying Mr. Wonka would.
No, I know. It's just, I like it.
So then he does an ad for his candy bar company, and he's like, if you buy my chocolate, you can win one of these 10 Teslas in cash, or be in one of my videos. So that's cool.
The 10 Teslas are parked directly behind him also. He's not just like offhand saying it and showing a picture. They, for some reason, brought them all out onto the lot. And they're just sitting there. I don't know.
So then he goes, I think giving you the factory will probably be more trouble than it's worth. And you'll get $100,000 of upkeep every year. Which, like, Jesus Christ, MrBeast, how expensive was this? So he thankfully just gives him the money. And I was going to lose my mind if he didn't. So his lackeys wheel out $500,000 in cash and give him that. And he's wearing shorts now. So he's like, you have the factory, so now can I buy it off of you? Which I was kind of fun, and then the video is just fucking over.
It ends very abruptly, and I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, it is interesting because it feels like you're watching a reality show, but with none of the things that make you care about a reality show, like stories about contestants or personality or names of contestants. You know what I mean? Or like being happy that somebody won, because I just didn't care that this guy found 500K. Like, I guess I'm glad he did, but I don't,
Yeah. I don't know. But like you said, like, you're not able to root for anybody, so it's not
Yeah, you're rooting.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah, like I was
So what's
rooting
the
for one
point?
guy literally because he was holding a roll of toilet paper, and I was like, "That's fucking something." All right.
So if I can't root for the people, I have to get invested in the factory itself, which honestly wasn't as impressive as I think it could have been. I think like a house would have done. I don't know. I just feel like this.
I just think if he had bought into the whimsy and mystery more with his performance, I would not be as judgmental as I am today.
Yeah. Well, final thoughts.
I don't know, man.
What were your favorite challenges?
I like the marshmallow room. I think that one was interesting. I think he could have adjusted the rules so that people didn't fall off as fast, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was unique in a way that felt very Wonka.
Same.
How about you?
And actually, I had the marshmallow room. I really like cake toilets, and then honorable mention for hide and seek as the first round because I thought that actually was kind of a fun way for them. I
wish they spent more time on hide and seek because they literally there was no tension. They just found a guy like 30 seconds later, and I was like, oh. You didn't even see where everybody was hiding. I know.
Well, and it moves really quickly, and I think it would have been fun to like check back on people who like weren't found for a long time.
I also wish they were restricted to just the chocolate room because I feel like it would have been more interesting because we would have gotten to see more of the chocolate room. We spent so much fucking money.
I know, like where did the chocolate door go? It clearly went somewhere because it opened. Like, and the guy ate it. I don't know. Yeah, I agree.
Also, can we mention there was a Coca-Cola door handle into the marshmallow room? That doesn't make fucking sense. Anyway, not the point.
But yeah, no. And I thought, I think if he hadn't had Gordon Ramsey, I think it could have been a good video still, and the money could have gone to better props.
I actually honestly think the Gordon Ramsay was the saving grace of this video.
It was, but I feel like it could have not had to be him if the rest of the video was good. But in this case, Gordon Ramsay saved the video. And that's also the slowest part of the video is
it lets you take a fucking breather, and it's so refreshing after the nightmare that has been the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly also, when I was watching it as somebody who's used to, doing the media on the other side of it, I was like, the editing had to be a fucking nightmare.
Oh my God, it would be awful.
Can you imagine?
Awful.
Great. Well,
are we on to predictions? I guess I feel like we have to end as abruptly as the video did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's do predictions. I am predicting, let's stay in YouTube. I think the Try Guys will try on different Wonka costumes leading up to the premiere. Like of all the different kids and stuff. And they might do something with the candy, but I think they'll do a Wonka themed video.
I could see them doing something. They do without a recipe videos. They could do something with candy with Wonka. Do you think they'll get sponsored? They would get sponsored.
Yeah, I don't know.
Warner Bros, you should get on that. I'd actually like that video. I would enjoy that.
They could, yes.
Here's what I'm going to say. Good Mythical Morning is going to do something. Those are the other guys.
Ooh,
they will totally. They put out a video every fucking day. They gotta tap in on the Wonka heat at some point. I'm surprised they haven't. All right, well, we're staying in the YouTube space. Those are our YouTube Wonka predictions. Fickle Grubber is caressing the mic lovingly. Fickle Grubber, would you like to sing us goodnight with a little song? Take out the night for us.
Ribbit, 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 ribbit.
Those are those dulcet tones I love.
Mwah. A kiss goodnight from Fickle Grubber.
That's so sweet.
I fucking love this thing.
I'm so glad. I'm
about to be so obnoxious. It's so good. And now that I know I can dress him up for different seasons.
Oh, yeah. I felt like if we ever had a Wonka live show and we put a single spotlight on him, it would do amazing things.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, not the point. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Wonka Watch.
An hour and a half.
Hour and a fucking half of recording. If you think, wow, this ending came on kind of fast, yeah, it's because we realized we've been recording for an hour and a half and are like, get us out. I started last week's episode. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lordy. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Wonka Watch. If you like this episode and want to check out more things we do, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Wonka Watch. And if you have thoughts or concerns about the MrBeast video, you can email us at wonkaprapture@gmail.com. Also, if you've tried this creamer, let us know. We want to hear your thoughts about it. If you want to support the podcast, you can go to Wonka Watch. But nope, that's not nope, don't do that. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Wonka Watch. And
We have
Buy
some
us a
cool
little
video
chocolate bar.
devs. We want to do some cool stuff. We just need some funding to do it. So just know that like everything goes into the podcast and it will create cool content.
Yes, let's just say if we get a little bit of money going on over there, it will allow us to see each other and finally talk about the golden ticket board game we get emails about all the time. It's a little hard to do in 2 different locations. Would be a little tricky. But yeah, I guess like you can, do people rate and review on Apple? Is that a thing we should tell people to do? I don't know.
Wow, I never thought about that. Yeah, Spotify and Apple, if you want to throw 5 stars our way, like, cool.
We appreciate it. We like it.
We like it. You can leave a review as well. I don't know. Maybe we'll read it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Decision done.
Bing.
High five. Boom.
We'll read reviews on the podcast. Bing, 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 bing. And then like they get printed out by our on our little inkjet printer in our studio apartment at the bottom of the Wonka Well.
Love it.
Anyway, I think this MrBeast video really illustrates how not important all of this is.
It's not that important.
It's really not that important. In like a spiritual sense and a mental sense. Fickle Grub, what are your thoughts on the matter?
I think as somebody who lives in a pond and now lives in a well, I have no idea what the internet is. So it's not that important. Don't smoke counterfeit vapes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.